What's up, everybody? Trinity here, and welcome back to the 2nd Street Marvel for today's comic book triple feature. That's right, Marvel Comics has released 3 new Dawn of X titles, and we're going to talk about those today, starting off with X-Men issue number 5. Then after that, we'll move in to Fallen Angels issue number 6. And then right after that, the last one we'll talk about is New Mutants issue number 6. So let's go ahead and get this thing started off. In case you haven't watched any of the rest of my reviews on the Dawn of X titles, you should make sure that you go check those out. There should be a video link somewhere up here, where you can go check those out. I never know where those things are supposed to come in at. I don't know. Anyway, getting right here into X-Men issue number 5. This is being written by Jonathan Hickman. R.B. Silva is the artist. Marte Gracia is the color artist. VC's Clayton Cowles is the letterer. Tom Muller on design. Lionel Francis Yu and Sonny Go are the cover artists. And I will go ahead and show you those that cover right there. And then let me go ahead and show you those names. I don't think I butchered any of those names, but I'll show you those so I can once again complain about what happened here, Marvel. What happened here? We got 2 title pages back. Come on, guys. What's going on here? You gave me one book. You just wanted to make me happy in that one Marauders book, didn't you? I understand. At least it was one of my favorite titles of the series. So now this book right here starts off like with some of those similar panels like we got in the House of X and Powers of X back in the day. Remember those? Like, what was that? Like issue number 1 of House of X? Was it? Yeah, I think it was. Pretty sure it was. It might have been the 2nd issue. Might have been the Powers of X, Powers of 10, House of X. I don't know. It was one of those. But one of those panels like that where it's split up in 5 little different panels, and yeah, I don't know. And what we do is we open up here on Ecuador, as we see there's this little girl going through the town here, and she goes up and kind of like possesses these guys to like protect her. They're like, hey, keep him from following me. You don't really know who until you turn the page and be like, hey, who's following this girl? Ooh, none other than Wolverine. That's right, Wolverine is out. He's out on the hunt, and maybe I should have started off by showing you guys what X-Men are in this book. Let's start off there. That's who all we've got here. We've got Cyclops, we've got Wolverine, Professor X, Armor, Storm, Darwin, Sync, X-23, and Seraphina. And Seraphina is the one here that's kind of on the run. And so she possesses these guys that, keep Wolverine off her trail. And Wolverine, he walks up, he's like, hey guys, look, I've seen the look on your on your faces a million times. Guys, just let me through. I'll let you live. I won't do you any harm. Just let me go by. And naturally they didn't want to. So, he didn't kill him. But he did, he did let his presence be known. And he ends up following her to this, yeah, I'm not even sure what you would call it, but it's like this little like temple thing here. We got like the sentinel and everything sitting there. And this is where Seraphina had went inside. She had snuck inside there on her way there. And she gets inside, and Wolverine's sitting there like, well, crap, she got inside. What are we supposed to do now? So they kind of have to formulate a different plan, and that's when we see that Cyclops and Storm and Armor are sitting there with Professor X having a meeting with a few other mutants, younger mutants, I'm guessing, or just mutants that are back. It looks like one of them's definitely a younger of the mutants, but they've got Darwin, Sync, and Laura X-23 here, or in this case, Wolverine. We'll get into that in just a minute. They're sitting there forming a plan and getting these 3 to go in and follow this girl into this temple. And I can't remember exactly what it's called. The vault. Going into this vault. And they've got these 3 particular ones. They're sitting here kind of breaking it all down. Cyclops, who's basically he's the captain commander. But anyway, he's explaining to him the plan about what they're going to do. He's like, okay, like we've got you here for this, you here for this, and you here for this. And each one of them's kind of like, God, like, gee, thanks a lot. Like the first one, I believe it's Darwin here. He's like, he's like, oh, okay, like cool, like I got it, you know, I could do that, thanks. And then he's explaining to Sync what he's supposed to do. He's kind of like, gee, like I guess I'm pretty useless now, aren't I? And then here's the thing is he's talking to X-23. He says he says and X-23 who like Wolverine, and she has to step in and she's like, I am Wolverine. And Logan steps in and says, you tell him, girl. I'm not gonna look too much into that. I realize some people are gonna have a problem with that, but you know, because you know, like she's there and she's Wolverine, and you know, and Logan is there to prop her up and say like, yeah, she's Wolverine. You know what? Like to me, it's not that big a deal. I don't dislike X-23, the lore character or anything. I think she's pretty cool. A lot of the stuff that I've read about her, in some of the books that I've read with her, I've enjoyed the character. So I don't really mind that. But we see all the characters are kind of here figuring out their mission, what's going on, and they're all kind of bonding. Of course, X-23. Here's the thing: is X-23 kind of gets out of line. She's kind of throwing this little fit at the same time. So I'm not sure what's going on with the writing here on the character here. She seems a little bit. She seems like she should be in the New Mutants comic book. Let me put it to you that way. So then the thing here is they're sitting here talking to Sync. They're sending him here on the mission. We get one of these lovely white pages kind of describing a little bit about him after he's been resurrected, talking about his physiology, how he's doing a lot better. And here's the thing. There's something very funny in here I'll get to in just a second. And they're also talking about his psychology and how where his head is at after being resurrected, because he's been gone for quite a while and he can't quite fully grasp what's going on in the world. So some very interesting things here brought to us by Dr. Cecilia Reyes. Now the thing here is she's saying here that he's operating at a 4% increase in natural physical ability, and it says in here the 5, it seems, are correcting, possibly unconsciously, the minor imperfections in each mutant they resurrect. Now the one thing that I did want to say about that right here in this little report is, I mean, it could be the 5 doing that, but it also makes me wonder if that has anything to do with Sinister, because we know that Sinister is there. He's kind of, you know, in charge of Bar Sinister and keeping all these things, you know, the DNA and strands and all that stuff. He's doing some experimenting and things like that. It makes me wonder, is maybe that has something to do with what his Sinister's work is. I don't know. So then we flash back inside here, inside the vault, where we can see, you know, and we got pictures of this earlier where we can see some of these things going on, where as it seems like oh man, what I forget her name? Serafina is kind of uploading to this computer her information and things like that, or whatever, or what have you. And then we flash over here to the next page, and we see where the X-Men are going through, kind of laying out their plan. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of cool. You know, they got the plan going on, and they've got Cyclops there, kind of narrating the story as they're going through, saying, "Here's what we're gonna do," and you know, as the action is going on, kind of. I don't know, kind of like you would see in I don't know, maybe in a good heist movie. Like, okay, here's the plan, you know, and you hear the little what do they call those? Not the bongos, but you know, somebody's playing those, you know. Ooh, almost like Luis in the Ant-Man movies. Something like that. They're sitting there trying to break into this vault to get the younger X-Men, to get Sync and Darwin and X-23 into this vault to go and accomplish their mission. And pretty much all that involves is a bunch of distraction. And, you know, they do end up getting inside. And that's kind of really all this book involves. I don't want to get too much more into that. But the one thing I've got to say is, I thought the X-Men hasn't been a super exciting issues so far. Like issue number 5 was really good. I think issue number 3 was good. You know, the rest of them have just been kind of they're okay. This one right here it's okay. It's got some action in it. It's got a pretty good story. Sets up, you know, kind of what their mission is, what they're doing. But I just haven't really felt like X-Men is really driving this whole story forward in what's going on with all these Dawn of X titles. I mean, it does. It plays a large part into it. But this one just, you know, it seems like they've been mostly like kind of slowed down stories, you know. But I think they help add depth, but not really range to the story of what's going on. I don't know, but and this book altogether with the art changing here, like some of the stuff I showed you earlier, like some of this art, like right here, I don't like that so much. For me, it just doesn't work too well. And then we get into some of these other panels that I just think are great, like right here where Seraphina's getting in there and getting jacked into the vault. I mean, that some of that stuff is like really good. But then, like I said, there's some of these that I just don't like I don't like the character looks and things as much. Like right here, I can tell you, like Storm right here, I'm not sure that I like that as much. Cyclops looks great right there, you know what I'm saying? It's just really weird. And then you go here a couple other pages later, and we see Storm again, and she looks just fine. She looks just fine. Like, I don't know. Like, just I guess some of the inconsistent art. It's not bad, though. It's not bad. But I did like X-Men issue number 5. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. The next one I'm going to get into here is going to be Fallen Angels issue number 6. Go ahead and take a look at that cover. That's a pretty nice cover. I do like this cover. And this book is being written by Brian Hill. Simon Kudransky is the artist. Frank D'Armata is the color artist. VC's Joe Sabino is the letterer. Tom Moeller on design. Ashley Witter is the cover artist. Thank you, Ashley, for such a lovely cover. I do like that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 6th and final issue in the Fallen Angels series, and it kind of shows here in this book. In case you don't already know, basically what's been happening is Psylocke is going off to put a stop to Apoth and this drug they're creating called Overclock. And here in this one, we got Psylocke, Cable, Husk, Bling, X-23, and Mr. Sinister all making appearance in this book. You can see those who those people are right there. And did I show you that 2-page title page? Yeah, we got another 2-page title page. Dang it. Come on, man. Come on. At least this is the last issue that I'm going to have to deal with this with. So what we see is, we learned in the last issue that they were they got a small group of mutants together to go out and put a stop to Apoth, and here that's exactly what they're doing. These 4 mutants along with Psylocke are heading to, I want to say, where is it? Where is it? It says they went to here. Oh man, I can't remember. Dubai. They're going to Dubai to face Apoth, because I believe that's where he was at, if I'm not mistaken. So they get there, and they're sitting there fighting. The kids are kind of distracting all of the henchmen, if you will, trying obviously not to kill them, the kids and everything who are being kind of ruled by Apoth. And so Psylocke is having to go there, and she's having to go confront Apoth, and we get some of these really cool. I don't know. They're kind of cool, but they're kind of silly scenes at the same time. I don't know how to feel about it. This whole series altogether has been like that. So Psylocke goes off to face Apoth while the rest of the younger X-Men, I guess, are they X-Men in this case, or are they Fallen Angels? I don't know what to call them here. While they're sitting there, kind of dealing with all the henchmen, and then so Psylocke goes in and she ends up getting jacked into the Matrix. Which, you guys, that's something I've really liked about this book, about Fallen Angels, is how it's kind of got that cyberpunk feel to it. It's kind of got that Matrix feel, along with a lot of the philosophical things that have been going on in this story. So the kids are sitting there fighting, trying not to kill anybody. One person does end up getting killed, and I'm wondering if that's going to be something that ends up coming back to haunt this particular person that did this. I don't know, because mutants aren't supposed to be killing humans. But anyway, so Psylocke gets in there, and she's facing Apoth and fighting with him and everything, and she kind of changes suits there. She's like in the Matrix, so she becomes her avatar, the digital representation of her physical self, or however, what I'm talking about. Remember the Matrix movie? Anyway, so she's in there fighting with Apoth. She ends up winning this fight, and then when she gets done, there's this character there that's like, he kind of looks like Silver Surfer. He kind of looks like Silver Surfer. Comes to her and says, "Hey, it's over. You did your job." And she's like, "Hey, who are you?" And he's like, "Well, Apoth was like this bad god, and I'm the good god." And and she's like, "Well, why didn't you do anything to help out?" And he's like, "I did. I sent you." And just like a god would say, you know what I'm saying? So she sits there and has a little conversation with him, and then that's really all that happens. And then they end up back on Krakoa, and all the the younger mutants. Laura is X-23 is going to Psylocke like, hey, where are you going? You're just gonna ditch us and leave us? Because it looks like Psylocke is kind of taking off. Well, then she before she leaves, she has to go make one last stop at Bar Sinister. And you guys know how much I've really enjoyed the conversations between Psylocke and Sinister in these books. It's really been they should have had more scenes with Psylocke and Sinister in these books altogether. So she drops off this this thing where this thing right here where apparently Apoth is located in there. All just all the stuff that Sinister could need to help put a stop to this, or to help gain whatever gains that he wants to get out of it in this book. Very strange stuff going on over here. Then we get this one last white page for them to say goodbye in this series, and I gotta say, this is the one part of the philosophical stuff I've read, and I didn't completely understand it. But altogether, I thought this issue felt really rushed. I liked what was going on in it, but I feel like this issue number 6 was really rushed in a lot of ways. The action, the fight scenes, the fight with her and Apoth seemed really rushed, and then the end just kind of ended like that as well. Again, this series, the Fallen Angel series, I've really liked it, but it hasn't been the best as far as the art. The art has been really inconsistent throughout this series, and I think it is in this book as well. It is in this book as well. Hopefully, if they bring this book back at some point, they get a different artist. And believe me, I like Simon Kudransky's work that he did in the Punisher series just before that ended, I think, last October. I thought it was really good. And I forget this. And then we get this last page right here. And this one right here is talking about Hellions. I'm not sure what the Hellions are, but is that one of the new series getting ready to come out? I don't know. But let me know down in the comments below, what did you think about Fallen Angels issue number 6? Like I said, I thought it was okay. It felt rushed. The art in it was it was decent. I can't complain. I think the art in this one was more consistent than it's been in the past books, but again, that's just me. But I thought this issue was pretty good, but again, it seemed like issue number 6 seemed like a rushed story and like a rushed finish to this story as well. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Okay, now moving on to the last title for the video. Next we're going to be talking about New Mutants issue number 6. Now, this book is being written by Ed Brisson. Flaviano is the artist. Carlos Lopez is the color artist. VC's Travis Lanham is the letterer. Tom Muller on design. Rod Reese is the cover artist. And I will go ahead and show you that cover right there. And, you can... I'm telling you, if you pay attention, you can tell Rod Reese art a mile away. I mean, this one just screams Rod Reese. And, hey, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Now, I will say, I noticed that Rod Reese has been doing the covers, even for the issues that he wasn't doing the art in. And I think, gosh, was he doing the covers on the ones he wasn't doing the art? Or was he doing the covers on the ones he did do the art? I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check that out. But you can always tell his art. And, actually, getting into this one, I can tell Flaviano's art as well. Flaviano actually did some of the art for one of my favorite comic book of last year. That was Black Widow, No Restraints Play. So, anyway, now, let's go ahead and show you. Did I show you guys that title page? Did I show you the title page there? Yeah, we got 2 of them again. We got the 2-page title page again, and of course, there's the cover as well. So yeah, and in here, the mutants we're dealing with today are Armor, Boom Boom, Glob, Maxime, Manon, Beak, and Angel. Some of the same ones that we were dealing with. Gosh, what was it, in issue number 3 and 4, and then again. I think that was it, 3 and 4, and I think 4 and 5 were the ones where they were back in space. And anyway, so here we see, we know that Armor and a few of the mutants, Manon and, God, what was the other one's name again? Manon and Maxime had went to Nebraska to get Beak and Angel and their family back to Krakoa, as they had not been there, and then they ended up getting kind of... abducted, if you will, by these people from Costa I can't remember where they were from. It's really pretty irrelevant. It wasn't Costa Rica, but it was someplace like that. But basically, these guys were part of a large drug cartel, and they wanted control of the mutant drugs. So they were there to kind of ambush the mutants so they could get a hold of some people so they could hold them for ransom to be able to get drugs and to be able to try to make a deal with the mutants somehow, and trying to get that to be their import or export that they were in control of. And they were trying to be like Cape Pride is what they were trying to do, except for they don't have all the power. And so, here we flash back onto the farm. Remember where we left off in, I believe that was issue number 4, where Boom Boom had showed up to help to help the mutants out of the situation, by helping stop these henchmen. And we can see here they did that for the most part. There's a little bit more confrontation here with the last of these people, as Maxime and Manon had kind of persuaded some people to kind of turn against each other. And here we see that Blob actually has a problem with that. It's like, hey, what are you guys doing? We're supposed to be here. Like, we're not supposed to be killing people. And it's like, well, we didn't kill them. They killed each other. But he's like, no, there's you got to think things through. There are better ways to handle a situation and come to a better end, than just violence all the time and killing people. It's kind of what they're getting across here throughout this book. And we see that they eventually they kind of get away from all these bad guys and everything, but not without some casualties, and not without some other people getting injured. Again, pretty cool stuff. I'll show you guys a little bit more of the art here, where you guys can get a look at that. Just some of the things going on here that they're dealing with, trying to get away from these bad guys, from these guys that are in this drug cartel. And there's just like some really crazy stuff here, because these guys from this drug cartel are there to do their job and kind of get access to these Krakoan drugs and stuff. And then we get stuff like this in the comic book, which just kind of is not, I don't know. It seems like, okay, well, if you're just willing to go ahead and off yourself, then what's the point of what you're doing in the first place? So they kind of get through all that, and then of course here at the back, the mutants get away from those bad guys. We get this nice little news article here on this publication called Docs. They got doxed. Just some funny, just kind of funny stuff. Where here they're talking about. In this little news article, talking about this farm that had been suspected to be mutants there, and all of a sudden, where mutants are, it's a bad thing. Trouble always follows, and the mutants and their thing, against the humans and their thing against mutants. Yeah, just that kind of stuff going on here. But then we flash back to Krakoa when they all finally get back to Krakoa, and everything's seemingly all well again. But it seems Maxime and Manon have once again intervened with some things naturally occurring that maybe shouldn't have happened, and just things that they're young kids. They don't think about their new mutants that they don't think about. So we've got other characters here trying to guide them and be like, hey, like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, people need to be allowed to, you have to read the story to get into it. Altogether, this New Mutants issue, I haven't really liked these issues, the ones where they go to the, for Beak and Angel in Nebraska and all that. Was that issue 3 and 4, and then issue number 6. I don't really like these issues as much, but I've got to be honest, like, I haven't really liked the New Mutants series altogether as much in the first place. Just like the character interactions, they just seem, they're New Mutants, they're younger kids, so they just kind of act like, I don't know, they're insufferable at times. That's all I can really say. Is they're like, some of them are kind of jerks to each other. Some of them just are growing and learning and things like that. Hey, I get it. Altogether, I gotta say, I thought this book was decent. The only thing is I don't feel that this story, and I could be wrong here, maybe we're going to learn more about that in the future. I don't feel that this story in issues 3 and 4, and then issue number 6 here, are really important to anything other than maybe they're developing characters, Maxime and Manon here, for future storylines or something. I don't really know what the point of these particular 3 issues out of these 6 issues are, but I don't know. I'm sure we can talk about that down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Have you read New Mutants issue number 6? If so, what were your thoughts? And I gotta say, like, even in this book, like, I like this panel here. I like Flaviano's art. Even the coloring in here is pretty good. I like the art itself. To me, it just doesn't seem to fit at times, fit here all the time, but I don't know. That's if you ask me, but let me know what you guys think about New Mutants issue number 6 down in the comments below. And also, let me know down in the comments below, which out of these 3 books was your favorite this week? Was your favorite, was it New Mutants? Did you like X-Men? Or did you like Fallen Angels? Which one was your favorite? I think for me, my favorite out of these... Oh, that's kind of a hard one with this week's stories. I've got to say, maybe my favorite has been was X-Men this week out of these 3, but I don't know. I mean, altogether, these 3 stories this week just didn't seem to be. They weren't as exciting as last week was. Man, remember last week's video? I was so excited. Those 2 issues, they were actually pretty good. Even what was it? The Excalibur's issue. I even thought that one was actually pretty good. These ones, I don't know. I guess they're kind of middle of the road for me. Like they're okay. But anyway, let's talk about that down in the comments below. That's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, click the little bell, and all of that good stuff. You know how this is done. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. It's all good. I don't take any of that stuff personal. It's interaction in my book. I appreciate it. But while you're at it, make sure you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Go out and read some great comic books and support some great comic books and support your local comic book shop. And we'll see you in the next video. Later.